Okay, so I've got my YouTube going and I've got my Facebook going. So I'm going to start out. Here I go. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole and I'm an addict. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015, and I'm here today with you to share with you guys some experience, strength, and hope on how I stay sober one day at a time, how I am staying sane during this quarantine that we got going on here. And I hope that I can help you guys and inspire you all if you're struggling with addiction or alcoholism or both, which, I mean, they're the same thing, but y'all know what I mean. If you're struggling with the disease of addiction and you need support, you're in the right place, because we are going to have meetings every single day for the next month, you guys. I'm going to be facilitating the meeting at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. My friend Sober James is going to be facilitating the meeting at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then LT is facilitating the meeting at 9 p.m. So you got 3 hours of meetings back to back every single night for the next 3 weeks. No matter what, we're all going to be trying to get guests on the channel to share their experience, strength, and hope. And we're going to pick different topics each night. You can call in if you want and share about your recovery. I have a phone number listed on the screen over here on my YouTube channel. If you're watching from Facebook and you want to call in, the phone number is 501-991-5149. And I want to really encourage anybody who's out there that wants to share their experience, strength, and hope to go ahead and call in, because you know what? Everybody's story is a story. We all have a story, you guys, and you can call in and share that, and maybe it will help someone else who's on the edge. Maybe it will help somebody who's struggling with their addiction get sober and choose recovery. You know what I mean? So hey, thanks, Dean. I appreciate it. I went on vacation like a month ago. No, it was at the beginning of the month. At the beginning of the month for my birthday, because I turned 38 in March. March 8th was my birthday. And I got this shirt that says Razorbacks on it because we were up in the mountains and I started getting hot and I needed a shirt to change into because we were hiking. So I got this shirt. So thanks for noticing. So, okay. Tonight, what we're going to talk about, you guys, we're going to talk about earning trust back after being in active addiction for so many years. Okay, so for those of you guys that are new to my channel or that are watching from Facebook, I've been in recovery since July of 2015. The way I got sober was my son, Nathaniel, was taken from me. Hey, Bob, what's up? Anytime, man. Anytime I can do something to help people that are in recovery, I will do anything I can, you guys, because somebody was there to help me. Okay? Somebody was there to share their story with me. Somebody was there to give me a ride to a meeting. Somebody was there to listen to me cry. Somebody was there to tell me that I needed to get my head out of my own ass and make a change. So I'll do anything I can to help another addict. Okay, anything I can. I put my phone number out there because someone answered the phone for me. You know, I really think that a lot of people, they don't understand unless they've been there. But when you have been an addict and you've struggled for many years trying to get sober, like I have, and you've had sponsors and friends who've gotten sober before you, um, it's like, you know that you have to have support, and you know that you have to share that message with other people, because that also helps you stay sober. You know what I mean? And so I've just learned that giving back to others is a surefire way, one, of feeling better, right? When I'm struggling, I feel like shit, I'm having a bad day. Guess what? I can help somebody else, and 9 times out of 10 I feel 100% better. Okay? A lot of the times when I'm having a bad day, it's because I'm in my own head and I'm thinking, oh, woe is me. My life is so terrible. I'll give you guys a really good example. So this whole like being on quarantine thing with the coronavirus, the self distancing, It's hard, you guys. I have a 5-year-old. He wants to go to the movies. He wants to go to the trampoline park. He wants to go around other people. He's my only child. So we usually hang out with other people when we go to do things. He doesn't have brothers and sisters. So seeing him, bored and wanting to do stuff, it makes me upset. And I was just getting in my own head earlier. I was like, this is going to be really, really difficult. This is going to be a long couple of months. And then I started thinking about it and I was like, you know what? You need to call a couple people that you hadn't seen in a while and check up on them. So if y'all didn't know this, I check on people that I don't see on my channel after a while. So I hadn't seen a couple of people, so I was reaching out to them to call them, say, hey, where have you been? Are you doing okay? Are you still sober? Um, and just checking on them. Are you still in recovery? Do you need support? And so then I got to talking to a couple of people I hadn't talked to in a while, and it broke me out of that mindset. It broke me out of that mindset and made me realize, like, dude, I have so much to be grateful for. Um, so I'm just really, really fortunate that I'm able to share with you guys and have this platform. And I wouldn't be here without you guys. So if y'all weren't coming to the meetings, I'd just be here talking to myself. So I love it. I'm so grateful for you guys. Let me shut this door over here. Okay. So all right. Let's go ahead. So before we get started, let me tell you guys a little bit about me. Those of you guys that are on YouTube, y'all know me, but people that are watching them from Facebook might not know. I tried to get sober for like 10 years, you guys. I went to meetings. I got a sponsor. I started working the steps, and I love the 12 steps. I think they're amazing. They've helped me so much to change my life, right? But for some reason, I just kept relapsing. So when my little boy got taken from me back in 2015, I went and got on medication assisted treatment, which is Suboxone. And I got on Suboxone, and I was sharing my story after about a year on Facebook because, of course, I was working the 12 steps with my sponsor, and she was like, I don't want you to start sharing your story until you've been sober for at least a year. So I waited a year, and then I started sharing my story. And I noticed that there was really nobody else talking about recovery that was using maintenance medication. And so a lot of people, disagreed with me. A lot of people, would put their 2 cents in and tell me how I wasn't sober and how I wasn't, I couldn't even say I was in recovery. Just things that are not nice that you should never be saying to anybody about their recovery because it's none of your business, right? And so I was like, you know what? There is a really big need for people that need support that are on maintenance medication. There is a need for somebody out there to share about their experience, somebody who is taking their medication as prescribed, somebody who is going to therapy, somebody who is consistent, somebody who is just doing it the way it's supposed to be done, the right way. Someone who's not abusing their medication, someone who's not stealing, lying, cheating, manipulating anymore. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay in this 12-step program. I'm going to stay working my recovery with my sponsor, and I'm going to start sharing my story about being on maintenance medication and the judgment that I have experienced, because I want to help other people, you guys, not feel like they have to be that I don't want other people to feel judged. I don't want other people who are on maintenance medication, who just got off heroin, who are so happy because they finally found something that worked for them. They're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to die a heroin addict. I thought I was going to die a fentanyl addict. And I found this medication and it's helping me stay sober. And you know what? I do want to do recovery. I do want to seek help. I do want to go to meetings. I do want to get a sponsor. I want to do better. And that's what I want to help people to do. Okay. But when we're sitting there and we're judging people for their recovery pathway, they don't hear anything we say. So before we can even give them a chance to help them, if we're saying out of our mouth, you know what? You're not sober, you're not in recovery because you use maintenance medication. right there, you're alienating a whole group of people from you that could be benefiting from help, that could be working a program of recovery and attending 12-step meetings with you, but because you want to insert your opinion into something that really doesn't have any business being there, you could end up causing someone not to take the help that is given to them, causing somebody not to try and do a program, okay? And just be on Suboxone and be all by themselves without any support. Because we all know that when you get on maintenance medication, if you just get on maintenance medication and you're a drug addict and you don't work any kind of program, whether it be a 12-step program, smart recovery, refuge recovery, MARA, whatever program it may be, combined with therapy, if you are somebody who just gets on maintenance and you expect for your life to change, and you don't get into these programs like I'm trying to share with you guys about that will help you to change your behaviors, then you're just going to be spinning your wheels. You're just going to be on maintenance medication and you're not going to be happy and things aren't going to change. When you get on these medications, you have to seek the ultimate amount of help. You've got to get into therapy. You've got to get into some kind of recovery program because it's going to benefit you, guys. I promise you. Don't don't get on maintenance and expect for maintenance to save you because it's not. You have to do the work. You have to put in effort and you have to learn a new way to live your life, okay? So, I don't even know why I went on this tangent. Oh yeah, I was telling you guys about me. So, I got on maintenance medication and I got into therapy and I started working a 12-step program with a sponsor, you guys. And it's really important for y'all to understand that. Like everything I do, I run it through someone else. I talk to my sponsor. I ask her opinion. I talk to her about how I want to help people, how I want to encourage other addicts that are struggling, okay? And because it was me. It was me who was so excited about being sober and so proud of how far I've come. And I remember going to tell everyone how happy I was and how much my life had changed because of getting on maintenance. And I was met with so much ridicule, so much judgment, people trying to make me feel less than because of the path that I chose. And so here on my channel, Real Talk Recovery, we don't judge you. It doesn't matter what path that you choose to get to where you're going. We want you to know that you are welcome here and that this channel is all about inclusivity. It's about sharing solution. It's about encouraging one another. It's about accountability. It's about staying on the right track. And I just want to keep doing that with you guys, but I need y'all to understand that just because somebody is abstinent and that was the recovery pathway that they took doesn't mean that they're better than someone who is on a maintenance medication. Okay, it's really important for people to understand that, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand because they want to judge. They want you to feel like you're less than because they feel like that inside themselves. Okay, so we're not about that over here. We accept everybody, and we want everyone to have a place. Okay. Um, Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate you for saying that. But here's the thing. I just wanted you guys to explain that to you guys that that's where I'm at right now. Now I am down to 2 milligrams. Okay, I have tapered from 12 to 2, and I probably should be off by December-ish because I'm going real slow on my taper. But I wanted to share that with you guys because, I think it's important for me to be completely honest. I want to be transparent. I want you guys to know where I'm at in my recovery and what I'm doing. And so now what I do is I'm working the 12 steps with a sponsor. I'm also involved heavily in MARA, which is a new fellowship for people that are on maintenance medication. Okay, they're actually getting a book written up and they're trying to get it published, or it's in the middle of being published, and we're going to start reading and going through that as soon as it comes out. But I'm diving headfirst into everything that I can learn about addiction, so that way I can help other people and share my experience with you guys because I've been there. You know what I mean? Hey Angela, I love you too, girl. One of my good friends from high school is watching the live stream on Facebook. So shout out to you. I love you, girl. I hope you're doing good too. Anytime you want to come on my channel, come on over. All you gotta do is type in Real Talk Recovery on YouTube and it'll bring me up. So okay, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it, y'all. I just have to like go slow and remember that it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, okay? This is the right decision for me, you know? Hey, thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. This is the right decision for me, you know, and I have to not let other people's judgment affect me. But sometimes, you guys, it can be difficult, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're an addict in recovery, a lot of us, or at least I know I am, I'm a people pleaser, okay? I worry about what other people think about me. Sometimes I find myself seeking validation through what others think and say about me. And I know that what other people think and say about me shouldn't matter. But because of that low self-esteem, because of that low self, worth, that's something that I struggle with even today in my recovery, even though I've gotten to a place where I love myself so much more than I ever did when I was in my active addiction. That's why I'm staying sober today. But even though I've come from, a homeless, shooting up, living in a dumpster, basically sleeping outside on somebody's couch in a backyard, with like mold everywhere and rain always getting wet. It was terrible. Even though I've come from that to where I am today, I still struggle with these feelings like I'm not good enough. Am I helping enough people? Is what I'm saying, gonna actually get to somebody? Like, it's like these second guessings, and that happens to me all the time. And I'm like, I know that I have to not do that, but sometimes it's just hard. Sometimes I just do it and I don't even realize I'm doing it. And so that's why, like, coming on here, you guys, and helping you guys and sharing with you guys what I do to stay sober. I hope that it helps you guys because it really does help me to be able to share it with you guys. It's changed my life since I've been able to start doing my YouTube channel and just helping other people. So it gives me so much strength and happiness in my heart to be able to share it with other addicts and see them go, wow, I've been where she's at. I can relate to that. And then it's like this light lights up inside of them like, you know what? If she can do it, so can I. I'm not helpless, I'm not hopeless. I can actually turn my life around and change. So, because that's what happened to me, I was able to watch someone else and see someone else getting sober and changing their life, and that's how I finally got enough strength to actually reach out, get help, and start making changes in my life. So, that's how I got to where I'm at today, and I started this channel like 2.5 years ago. Yeah. I'm gonna get something from FGTV. Okay, after I'm done. So can we go to Walmart? Maybe after I'm done. So, so that's where we've gotten to. Now what I'm doing is every night for the next 3 weeks we are doing recovery related meetings here on my channel. I'm also live streaming them live to Facebook. And the whole reason why we're doing this, you guys, is because a lot of places are not holding AA and NA meetings because, well, it's dangerous to have too many people gathered in one area at one time. So what we're doing is me, my friend James, and my friend LT, we have started doing meetings from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So the 7 o'clock slot is my slot. The 8 o'clock slot is James's slot, and the 9 o'clock slot is LT's slot. And so we kind of like join together and are doing that so that way we can keep spreading the message of hope, in hopes that we can help other people who are at home and struggling that can't get to a meeting. So I hope that helps you guys a little bit out. So now let's get to the topic. Let's get to the dang topic already, Nicole. Hey, Brittany. I'm so glad you're here, girl. Okay, let's get to the topic. So last night in the meeting over at James's channel, after we got done here, we all went over to James's channel. Last night, we were having so much fun, you guys. He was playing the guitar. I mean, it was like, you guys, it was so much fun. It was sober fun. It was like a sober party. He was playing the guitar. People were throwing money out. There were super chats flying everywhere, y'all. There was like, we were just having a good time, sober. And his sister came in and she had accused him of being drunk on the live stream. And it was really upsetting, you guys. James was really upset. I could just see his whole demeanor just went from like having a great time, playing the guitar, being so happy because he had like 40 people on his live stream, and that was the most he's ever had before. And so he was really excited about it. And it just like his whole demeanor just changed. And so I thought, wow, that's happened to me before. I've had that happen to me before where I was sober and my family members thought I was high, right? And so I want to talk to you guys about what it's like to earn trust back after you've been in your addiction for many, many years. Hey, Troy and Brittany, I'm so glad you're back, girl. I'm over on the YouTube channel if you want to come over there. If it's whatever you guys want to do, but for those of you guys that are on Facebook, if you want to come over to the YouTube channel where there's more people in the chat, all you have to do is type in Real Talk Recovery on YouTube and it'll bring you up live with us, okay? Okay, so, and welcome to everybody that's here. I started a little bit early because I was just giving like a rundown of how I got to where I'm at, why I'm making these videos, and it's 7 o'clock straight up. So now we can start talking about the topic. So, earning trust back. How many of you guys have went through a similar experience where you were actually clean and sober and your family member accused you of being fucked up? I know how it feels. How many of you got upset when they accused you of being fucked up? How many of you it hurt you? You felt bad because you were like, "Damn, for once in my life I'm actually doing the right thing," right? And I know how it feels because I've been there, but I want you guys to see something and I'm not like James. I totally understand where he was coming from, and I would have been upset too. But I kind of want to look at it from a different perspective, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So last night's meeting, my mom came on and she shared a little bit about what it was like when I was in my active addiction and how my addiction affected her and my family. And so one of the reasons why my mom and dad would accuse me is because they were afraid. Okay? Fear. They were afraid that when we get sober, what usually happens, okay? What usually happens is when we get sober, our family members have heard us say that we're getting sober, right? How many times have you guys told your families that you were going to get sober and then you relapsed? How many times? I want you guys to think about it. Honestly, think about it, okay? How many times have you tried to get sober and told your family, mom, dad, sister, brothers, I'm getting sober. I'm changing my life. Okay. And so they got all excited. They were like, yes, she's changing her life. She's going to be sober, right? Hey, Alan. Thanks for subscribing, man. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad to have you over here. We're going over to James's channel after this. And then you told them that, and then what did you do? You went out and you relapsed, or you didn't even get sober, right? So here we got our family's hopes up. We got them all excited because you guys, when we're in active addiction, we drag our families through the mud. We break our mom and dad's hearts. We hurt our brothers and sisters. You know, one thing, you guys, when I was in my active addiction, and I'm not like this now, but back then, I really thought that I wasn't hurting anybody. I really thought that when I was getting high, that I wasn't affecting anybody else but me. I thought that I'm just hurting myself. I don't know what y'all are talking about. When I get high, I don't affect anybody. It's all on me. This is what I thought. Okay. That is the biggest bullshit line anybody could ever tell themselves. If you think for a second that your addiction is not hurting your family, you're wrong. I don't care how much your family tells you that they don't care or they're not worried about you or they're kicking you out. I don't care how many times they tell you that they don't care or that it doesn't bother them. That's a lie. They're worried sick about you. They stay up all night long and cry because they're worried that you're going to die. When they get a phone call, they hope that it's the jail and not somebody telling them that you're dead. Okay? I'm telling you, you guys, we hurt so many people in our path. And because we're getting fucked up and we're high, we're oblivious to it a lot of the times, because when you're getting loaded and when you're in your active addiction, all we think about is what? Me, 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 me. It's all about me. I got to get what I got to get, when I got to get it, what I want. I want it now, right? And so we do that and we affect so many people in our life. We affect anybody that is attached to us, you guys, that has a relationship with us. And then those people, let's say your mom and dad are divorced. Your mom's got a boyfriend, your dad's got a girlfriend. You're getting high. Now your addiction that affects your mother is now going to affect your mother's boyfriend because your mother is going to be crying to her boyfriend, right? And so even though we think that we're not affecting other people and that we're only hurting and harming ourselves, it's not true. It goes down the line and it spreads and it touches every person, you guys, every person in our lives, and it affects them. And so when we spend so many years in our addiction and we've been hurting our family members and our friends and people that we know, it's really difficult to expect them. And this is another thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about expectations. We're going to talk about building up expectations and then getting disappointed, because that's one thing that I am infamous for doing, is like setting these expectations that are unrealistic expectations, and then I end up literally being so upset because what happens, it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. you know that's awesome, Brittany, good job. Hey LT, what's up? Welcome to everybody that's tuning into the meeting. Just so you guys know, we're talking about building trust back up after we've been in our addictions, and we're learning to kind of like understand where our family and friends are coming from. And that was really hard for me to do. Okay, so let me tell y'all what happened. Me and my husband got sober after my son was taken from us by CPS. Okay. So we got sober in July of 2015, and by July of 2016, we had my son back. We had jobs, we had cars, he had a car. I didn't have a car yet, but I had a job, and we were getting our life together. Things were looking good. Life was looking good. We were like starting to get the benefits of being sober and doing the right thing, right? Because our lives were changing. So I remember my mom and dad were still living in New York. Okay. And I talked a little bit about this last night. My mom and dad were still living in New York, and they hadn't really seen me, like they hadn't been around me in person to really see how much my life had changed. But they heard me on the phone. And I know my mom knows when she talks to me how different I was from when I was in my addiction. Because when I would talk to my mom when I was in my addiction, you guys, I would cuss all the time, every other word, and I just talked crazy. I just always talking crazy. And so I knew my mom knew that I was sober, but she hadn't seen me. And so when it was probably like that summer, maybe even August, my mom and dad decided to send me, Neil, and Nate a train ticket so we could come up to New York to see them for our 1 year sober, right? And so we were really excited, you guys. So we took the train. We went all the way up to New York. And I remember my dad's face. I'll never forget it, you guys. I know that my dad was looking at me and my husband like, they're really sober. This is really happening. They really did it. They've really changed. Because one thing I always remember is my dad begging me to get sober. Please, Nicole, please, you can do this. Just quit. Why can't you just quit? And the one person in the world that I wanted to show that I could do it was my dad, because I looked up to my dad so much. And me and my dad were so much alike, you know? So when I got sober and I was able to show my dad, look, I've done it. I'm actually sober, you know? It was the best feeling in the whole wide world. But I still wasn't sure, right? I wasn't sure that they really, really believed me. I know they believed me, but I wasn't sure if they, you know how it is, where they're like waiting for you to relapse. They're like, is she gonna do it this time? Is she really gonna make it this time, right? And so, my parents decided to come back to Arkansas and be around our family. Hey, Paula, welcome to the stream, girl. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, have a seat. We're just having a meeting, and we're talking all about earning trust back after being in addiction for so many years. So, I'm getting to the story because y'all need to hear this. This is a really good story. So one thing that my dad and my mom, well, mostly my dad, because you know he's the one with the dollars, the money. My dad, one thing that he would never do when I was in my addiction was give me money. Okay. He wouldn't give me money for Christmas. He wouldn't give me money for my birthday. He wouldn't give me money to put gas in my car. He wouldn't give me money to buy shoes. He would not give me no cash whatsoever. So if I ever got anything, it would be a gift card. And he even stopped doing that. You know why? Because I would take those gift cards and I would trade them to the dope man so I could get high. So, and my mom had to point this out to me because she's just like that. So, my mom and dad moved back to Arkansas, and then we started doing family gatherings more often. We got together for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and my mom and dad were getting to see me on a regular basis. They were getting able to see me sober and living my new life. They were being able to see me, what I do here on my channel, by sharing my story with you guys and helping people, right? And that's one thing that I know my dad, he's like, wow, she's really actually turned her life around. Because you guys, I'm straight up. I'm not going to come on here and try to give anything to anybody or help anyone if I don't have it to do. You know what I mean? If I don't know how to help somebody and I'm not doing the right thing, I'm never going to come on my channel and act like I do. This is so serious for me that this is me walking the walk and talking the talk. Like, this is my life. I have changed everything about me. My whole life has changed, right? Everything. Okay. So mom and dad moved back, and then my mom, she pointed it out to me just at the beginning of the month. This has probably they've been back in Arkansas for like 3 years, you guys. I've been sober for 5 years, July 2020. So this year will be 5 years. My mom said, did you realize that your dad's like giving you money now for Christmas? And I was like, I didn't even think about that. And she's like, yeah. And you guys, my dad's not giving me like $20. Okay. He's giving me money for Christmas. So that way I can buy my son an amazing Christmas each year. Because even though I'm sober, I'm not rich. We have to work really hard to have the money that we do have. My husband works 70 hours a week at the grocery store down the street. I work at a card distributor doing merchandising. And then I have a job that I work from home doing answering the phones for a treatment center. So, like a little secretary job. So, I have two jobs. My husband has a full-time job and we're working. So, I never even thought about it, you guys. But my dad trusts me again. My dad trusts me enough to give me hundreds of dollars all at one time. He would never do that before. And he trusts me, and you know what else? When he gives me all that money, 300 bucks for Christmas, guess what? I don't think in my mind, I'm going to take this money and go get high. I don't think in my mind, oh, I could get this, that, and the third with this. I automatically think of what I could do for my family with this money. You know what I'm saying? Like, this will help my family. When I was in my addiction, you couldn't give me $20 without my mind automatically going into how am I going to make this money into this so I can get that, right? Today, money used to be a trigger for me. Today, I can get money from my family as a gift, and I want to do things with it to help my family. I want to do things with it to give back to my son and make up for the time that I missed out on because I was high. You know what I'm saying? And so when my mom pointed that out to me, she was hugging me, of course. Y'all know how me and my mom are. We are really emotional people. And then when we get together, it's like we just cry a river, y'all. It's like a whole damn ocean coming out when me and my mom are together. And it's been years that I've been able to sit down and talk to my mom where we actually talk and I'm not fucked up. And she's not having to hold me up and make sure that I'm not overdosing. And she's not having to call and make sure I'm not in the hospital or in the jail. You know, she doesn't have to come visit me in prison anymore because I'm not in prison locked up because of my addiction. But it took, you guys, it took every bit of 5 years to get to the point where me and my mom and my dad, where they actually trust me. They actually know that I actually want to do this and I don't want to throw away my life. I don't want to get high anymore. I don't want to ruin everything, you know? And I know that they trust me because of that whole situation with the money. That's a huge stepping stone for my dad, you know? And they leave me alone in their house. When I was using, there was no way my family would leave me alone in their house because they knew that I would go into their safe and steal stuff, you know? And that was something that I did all the time is I would go in there and just take stuff out and then act like I never did, you know? What, Bubba? What? Oh, sorry. Come here. What? Okay. Nate, after I do the meeting, okay? I love you. Give me a kiss.
Are you almost done?
No, 30 more minutes.
Wait,
love you.
It 15 minutes.
You're doing a good job, though. I'm really proud of you.
Is it 15 minutes?
Yes. Here, why don't you go? You want to play a game on my phone?
No.
Okay. All right. So let me see what the comments are saying. I do that too for a treatment center. That's awesome, Casey. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. That's amazing. Isn't it feel good to be able to do that and actually give back and help other people? I love it too. Listen to me. It's just right for me. Just right. That's just the kind of thing I love to do is be able to connect with other people. And you guys, like earning back my family's trust, it took so many years. It really, really did because all those years, all those years that I was getting high, I was breaking down our relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? And so when I was finally able to like get my life together and actually like take suggestions and let someone else guide me and show me how to live my life, right? Because I didn't know how to live my life clean and sober. I didn't even know how to write. Dude, I told y'all this yesterday. I couldn't even open a bank account. Like, I didn't know how to do anything. And so earning my parents' trust back was slow going, but I'm going to tell y'all something right now. It has been amazing. But listen to me too. I want y'all to hear me out. If there was one day where I was acting out of the ordinary or maybe I was, just being erratic with my behavior, I wouldn't put it past my family, my mom and dad, to ask me if I was using, right? I wouldn't put it past them because they have seen me get high and relapse so many times, Um, oh yes, Ash. I was so bad. And my addiction got to the point where I was going into my dad's drawer before and I was steal his credit cards. And I would take my dad's credit card, you guys, and I would go charge $200 or $300 worth of alcohol for everybody at the club when we would go to the club. It was pretty bad. Now, once my addiction got to the point where I sold my car for $3,000 and I used $1,000 to get high and I gave the other 2,000 to my mom and dad to pay bills for me. But I can't even believe I was responsible enough to do that because my addiction, I can't believe I didn't take all that money and spend it. I must have been really having a good day that day. But the reason why I'm telling you guys that story, the reason why I'm even doing this live stream is because I want you guys to know that sometimes you're going to run into a situation where your family questions your recovery. They question whether or not you're sober. And it's when we set ourselves up with the expectation thinking that that'll never happen, that's unrealistic because we have sat there for so many years getting high, disregarding what our families how they feel, what they think, and using drugs and alcohol and hurting them for so many years. So, if you ever come into a situation where you're sober and your family accuses you of being high or drunk, right? The only thing that you can do is say, Mom, Dad, I love you. I'm not high. I'm not drunk. And the only way I know how to show that to you is to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm not going to change anything because I'm gotten this far in my recovery and I love you, but you're wrong. And that's it. Just drop it. And I'm telling you right now, sometimes when we just drop it and we give them the silent treatment and let them know like, hey, that really hurt me, then they'll realize that they made a mistake. But that stuff's gonna happen sometimes, just so you know. It's happened to me with people many times. And then like here on YouTube, there's trolls that'll come in sometimes and they'll say, oh, she's high right now, or she's using drugs right now. I don't even pay that shit no mind. Like that doesn't even faze me. But when it's your family members and you love them so much and they accuse you of that, it hurts. But this is what I was going to say. It's fear. It's them being afraid. They don't want to lose us. We've come so far. They're so proud of us. They don't want us to get high and drunk anymore. They want us to stay sober because we've changed and we are there. My mom has her daughter back. Okay. I'm her daughter. I'm the daughter that I was before I ever used drugs and alcohol. And we can talk on the phone now and we're best friends and I love my mom. Do you know what I mean? But she has me back now and she hadn't had me in so many years because I was so messed up. Okay, so let me read y'all's comments. Sorry, guys. Did you see? Oh, yeah, I saw that, Melissa. You've got to learn how to deal. It's not easy, but we're here to help. Hey, Bob, we're here to help you, man. I have to. I'm so empathetic for kids and animals. I've seen many get their kids back. Okay, so I don't know what y'all are talking about. So trust, earning the trust back. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but the one thing that I know that has helped me to earn the trust back of my family is to be consistent, to follow through what I say I'm going to do when I'm going to do it. Be honest. Okay? I have a schedule. I'm very honest and I'm very open about what I do here. And this is my priority. My recovery is my priority. because without my recovery, I have nothing, you guys. If I relapse, shit's going down. If I relapse, whoa, I don't know. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. You know what I mean? Okay, so what's going on? Okay, so anyway, are any of you guys that are watching want to come on here and kind of share anything about whenever you maybe were, getting sober, and maybe you ran into a situation where, somebody accused you of being high, or do you want to share what it was like for you to earn the trust back from your family? If any of you guys want to do that, you can come up here, or you can call me on that phone number, 501-991-5149. I'll tell you this much. Learning to let things go and not let them rent space in my head has been one of the best things that has helped me. Because when we hold that resentment, right, it's easy to hold a resentment and toss it back and forth in your mind and let it eat your lunch. But one of the things that helps me stay on the right track is just, you know what? It is what it is. I can't change that person's mind. I can't make them believe me. All I can do is keep doing what I'm doing. If I know that I'm doing the right thing, that's all that should matter. Hey, Candy, love you, girl. So, hey, okay, so sorry, I was reading the comments over here. So, trust is a hard one, you guys, but little by little, you'll earn the trust back with your family or your loved ones. I'll tell you another way that I've struggled giving trust. Okay, so for those of you guys that are new to my channel, or maybe you don't know, I am a recovering addict. I have 4.5 years clean. Okay, July of 2020 will be my 5 years. Okay, my husband is also a recovering addict. My husband has a year and a half, almost 2 years clean. We both got sober at the same time. All right. When we got sober, things went great for the first 2 years. And then he relapsed. And when my husband relapsed, I lost my shit. Because when I see someone that's directly connected to me that's getting high, it's a trigger. It pissed me off. I wanted to murder him when he did that. Because the first thing I thought about when he relapsed was my son and me losing my son again. And there was no way in hell I was going to lose my son for his actions. So when my husband relapsed, I put the foot down and I said, if you're going to still get high, you got to leave this house. You can't be here. You got to go. And so he left, and I called his mom and I told her, you better get your son, because if he keeps staying high, if he keeps doing this, we're going to lose everything. And he's not going to have me, and he's not going to have his son, because I won't allow it. I won't allow it. He got sober. He came back. And then he relapsed again about 4 months later, 5 months later. Okay. Second time, you guys, I freaked out and I asked him to get me high too. He didn't. Thank God. But I could have lost my sobriety. I could have lost my sobriety right then. And that's when I was like, this cannot keep happening. I cannot allow this to keep happening, because here I am trying to do the right thing, trying to stay sober. All it would have taken is one time, and I would have lost everything. Thrown it away for what? One time? One hit? One shot? One snort? One smoke? I would have lost my son, my home, everything. Admitting that I was asking him to get me high, when I look back on it, I know why I was doing it. I was doing it because I wanted to connect with him. And I thought that if I got high with him, maybe I would understand what he was going through and why he was trying to get high, right? That was my thinking in my mind at the time. I called my sponsor right away and I told her, I just told Neil to get me high, but thank God he didn't have any. And she was like, holy crap. She was like, you don't understand. That was God doing for you what you couldn't do for yourself. Because honey, if you and your husband would get high, you guys would lose everything. Everything. And so again, I had to make him leave. He left the house. This time he went to his mom's house. And that's when all shit broke loose and all the shit hit the fan. And he practically almost lost his job. But it was also the best thing that ever happened to us, you guys, because he needed the consequences. His job called up and they said, we know what's going on. You were at work and you were under the influence, and we know because we saw you. And he didn't think anybody noticed, right? And so they told him that he had to go to treatment or else he couldn't come back to work. Thank you, Jesus, because that saved our lives, you guys. Because my husband was so used to not having consequences and almost getting everything handed to him. I'm serious. Just patted on the back. Here you go. No consequences. He's never been homeless. Nothing like I've been through, okay? Nothing like it. And so this was a big changing point for him because it was a consequence, and it was something that actually he loved his job. He loves his job. And if he had lost that job, it was going to take away, what he believed in, Hello? Nothing. You want me to put you on speakerphone? Okay, hold on. Mark wants to talk, you guys. Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't plan on coming in, but Bob was in the comments, and he was talking about his grandson. He was struggling, and he said he happened to be listening. So if he is listening, we just wanted to send a message to him that he doesn't want to go down the path that all of us have been down. All of us are in here talking to each other right now because our lives have been destroyed, or we're on the path to being destroyed. We had terrible consequences. We were in jail. We were almost dead. Some of us did die. We're brought back. We've lost a lot of friends. You don't want to go down that path. If you listen to anybody, listen to the people talking here. We've been there. Just start making better choices.
That's right. Right. You don't want to go down the road we went down. So this is his grandson?
Yes.
So
his daughter is struggling. She's an active addict. He has the kids.
Oh,
and the grandson is struggling. He said he gets him to meetings sometimes in churches, which is awesome. Best thing he could do.
And you know what? If she can, we need to, if he can come and start hanging out with us, we do meetings like this. We're doing them every night, Bob, for like
the next. You don't have to go anywhere.
What day? For the next 3 weeks. And so you can just come here and hang out with us and we have so much support here. And we also have a Discord. We also have the Facebook group. But I'm telling you what, like just getting support and having other addicts and alcoholics that know what you've been through, it's #1 priority. It helps so much, but you cannot do it alone, and you don't have to do it alone, right, Merk?
Right, and it's a lot easier listening from people like us compared to people that have never been there, because when we're in our active addiction, we don't give a shit what those people are saying. It goes in 1 year if we're lucky and out the other. Most of the time it don't even go in 1 year.
Right. It's just like blocking it out. I was wondering what y'all were talking about. I missed the comment where it was going through to where I could really know what was happening. Well,
Yep, he's struggling with it. I could tell he's having a hard time dealing with it all. So
it's a lot. And then you know what? I hope that Bob's grandson will like not go out and get high and choose life, because like when we go out and we get messed up, you guys, and we do all this stuff, it's like gonna ruin our lives. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to choose that path anymore, because we are here to support you and you're not alone.
right, and this day and age, it's literally one time. You can go one time, and you can take fentanyl, whether you know you're taking it or not, and you're done. You're dead. And the people that are with you, they don't give a shit. They're gonna let you rot there and die. I've seen it so many times. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
When you're around those people, they don't care. You have to get around and stay around people that genuinely care about you.
That's right. Good job, Merc. I'm proud of you. I love you.
I just wanted to put that out there for him.
Thanks.
I didn't plan on calling in, but
oh, we love having you call in.
I gotta pass it along so people get it for me. So,
and you know what? Anybody else that wants to call in and share or talk about whatever you're going through, come on it up. Next person that wants to call, I got the phone on, so you can call.
Yes, do it.
All right, Merc. I love you, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
See? Okay, anybody else want to come up and share? In fact, this is what I'm going to do. For anybody else that's in the audience here on YouTube that wants to come up and share, I'm going to put a link in the comment section if anybody else wants to come up and talk. Sorry, guys, I'm long-winded sometimes, and I can just get to talking and sharing and talking and sharing. But I want to hear from you guys too. So we can all talk about trust. We can talk about, struggling with if you're struggling with thoughts of wanting to use, if you're, sober now and you're like, I don't know. I know when I first got sober, I was really struggled because I felt like I was all alone, and I just didn't have a lot of support because I had never gotten sober before, so I didn't have a lot of sober friends. All my friends were active drug addicts. So I had to change everything and get all these new friends. And it was hard at the beginning because I wasn't used to being around sober people. I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt like, it's hard when you're first getting into it, you guys, because we are so used to being around people, just like Merck said, that don't give a damn about us. And so what we do is we surround ourselves with chaos and drama and just sickness. And now when we get sober, we start surrounding ourselves with people that are sober and doing the right thing. And it can be uncomfortable because we don't know how to act, So here. Okay, I just put the link in the chat here on YouTube if you all want to come up and join me for the stream. And if anybody wants to call in, you could just call that number 501-991-5149. If you're someone who is in recovery, you can come on and share. If you're somebody who is a mother or a father of an addict and you want to come on and share and talk about how their addiction affected you, like anybody is allowed to come up here and hang out with us. Anybody is allowed and anybody is welcome. So let me see. What do you do if you want to use due to boredom? Ash, very good question. So, what do you do if boredom is one of your biggest triggers? That's what I'm hearing you to say, that you are triggered by boredom. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Ray.
How are you?
What's up? I'm doing
nice,
good.
Man. Hopefully that's good to hear. I just came through. Actually, just saw this show from Jaunt like the other day, so I was really inspired, man. And I like this sort of idea that people get up, who are going through these problems, and then, because a lot of people don't realize the issues that we face. So going through addiction and things like that. I went through a lot of stages. I'm currently on methadone 95 mils. So it's been about 3 years of that. I think I did like probably what at the worst when I got exposed, probably about 8 years of like heroin use, doing about at my worst 3.5 gram shots a day.
Uh-huh.
So it's like half a ball. But yeah, luckily that's been it's been like 3 years since I've used, so I've been clean just on methadone, trying to wean off now.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, that's
That's
something which
really
is great.
good. Listen to me. That is awesome. However long it takes you, if you
Mm,
I think a lot of people they think, "Oh, I have to get off of methadone because XYZ." If that's what you want to do and that's your goal, do whatever you want to do, but don't do it because someone else is pushing you to do it. Do it because it's what you want.
exactly, absolutely. I mean, because that's right with anything. The change comes from you, right? You got to recognize the issue and you've got to fix the problem. And these other people who are outside, they're not inside of you going through this turmoil. So as I say, you've got to be ready for that change, and thankfully, yeah, I am. So it's going slow, and I can already feel the difference. Like I've only dropped down 5 mils, but I can feel the clarity more so, in my head, and not being this really, really, what's that word, lethargic and zoned out and kind of noddy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and that's only 5 mils. So I know I'm 95. Still a long way to go. It's going to take maybe a year or so, but hey, that's the plan. Stay focused and keep at it, and be in the
Yes,
right
yes.
environment.
Yes, that's how it was for me when I started to taper. I'm on Suboxone and I was up to 12 milligrams, which I was fine. But when I started tapering and going down, once I got down to 3 or 4 milligrams, it's like the lethargy, because that's the only way I can explain it, is that I always felt like a lack of motivation.
Hmm.
And so once I got down to that lower milligram, it was almost like that energy came back in me and I was like, wow, I have such a passion and a drive, even more than I had, because I've always had it, but it was intensified, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it'd been stored up, but maybe in a sense, it had been stored up, sitting there for so long, all that goodness you did have inside you, and then it got a chance to bloom out. So it did bloom out. I kind of relate to that in the same way because I think like, what was I when I was in my primary school before I started like high school and going down the sort of wrong path? Um, what was I like? Because and I got to get back to that energy. But that's the kind of exactly when you said that thought, that's what I thought of.
Yeah.
You know,
I try to think
but,
about what I was like before I used drugs, and
right.
that was so long ago. It's like I think that it was like I was excited and I wanted to do all these different things, but when you start using it, you just like forget who you were.
Mm, absolute. Especially
You
with slow
lose
A, they
yourself.
say that. There's this common saying when you look into the eyes of a user, you don't see anything. It's like you look straight through them. If when the person's high, it's crazy.
Yes.
It's like
So,
they've lost all their humanity. They don't see. It's very hard. I mean, obviously people are going through this problem now, watching it. And unfortunately they're not in the same space of head of space mind that we are at, trying to wean off. And it's a difficult thing. I don't have the answers, but as we just said, the change comes from you, inside yourself. Don't do it because other people are tormenting you to do it, or forcing you to do it. It's got to come from you. You got to want it. If you want that change, it will happen.
exactly. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Where are you at? What state are you in? Are you out of state? Are you in another country?
Actually, in another country. I'm born in Australia, but my parents are from Fiji. So yeah, I'm in
So, are you in Australia now?
yeah. Yep.
How is everything going there where with the coronavirus?
Well, I try not to. I mean, it's here, unfortunately. I'm not really watching the mainstream too much, but what I have seen is there was like about, I think, 311 cases or so, 30 or so dead people.
Mhm.
A lot of events have been shut down. It's all over everywhere in the media, but I try not to follow it too much because it's kind of like it's another force that's you've got to be. I guess you got to be. We have to be aware and worried and be very careful. Be as hygienic as possible and all that stuff like that. Um, but it's just kind of, I don't want to add stress to accentuate that. But at the same sense, saying that the shopping centres, supermarkets, they're running out of, well, when I went to there, they've run out of like the tin foods, toilet papers, hand sanitizers, and things like that. So we're still going through similar problems. I think the world is facing with the shopping centres and stuff like that. But fortunately, you know, I haven't seen anybody affected, and I think, yeah, just fortunately that. But it is around, and they're closing off events, making sure everybody's. Actually, someone said in Perth they had a special time for the elderly to go shopping. They've set
Oh wow.
aside, yeah, which is kind of strange.
I guess
Um,
so that way they can make it like more sanitary because they're probably more immune, like their immune systems are like weaker, I guess.
yeah, that's exactly
That's
right. They're told to go in the mornings.
so you just came over from Jaunt's channel. So do you think this is a good idea? The meetings that we're doing every night, are you going to come tune in and like anytime that you want to come up and share and like hang out? Like I love having other people on to like talk with me and share their stories and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, well, that's why I'm here. I mean, I didn't say I just came directly from it, but I saw her channel like a few weeks ago, and then she said that you guys were doing something together. So yeah, really, I'm clocked in, including because I love it too, man. This is, a lot of people just they look down on people with addictions, and there's all sorts of types. It's not always. It could be through pain medication. There could be some, what's the word, like reasonable reasons there behind it. But the everyone just seems to think, oh, junkie, addict, and if you haven't been through that sort of side of things, they just really, really look down on them, and they think it's all their fault. It's all their fault, bloody
Yeah.
junkie, bloody junkie. So I'm really not on that mind state, and I love these sort of forums because it will, even if it helps one or two people, you know, to get in the right, a better state of mind. That's awesome. But the
Absolutely.
aim is that everybody's listening. And then, as you said, if anybody who is listening, they want to come and express themselves, hit the link. Come and get your story out. If others around you won't hear you, you've always got this channel. You know what I mean? This space.
Yes, absolutely. And listen, what I want you to do, will you like message me on Instagram or something like that? Because what we can do is I can dedicate like a whole 45 minutes meeting to you to where you can come on and tell your whole story. Would you want to do that?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't have none of that set up, but I can send you my email or something. I
Okay,
guess.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll put my email in the chat so that way you can get it because you're from Australia, I think that, I have never had anybody on that's not from America. So it would be
Right.
really cool to kind of hear like your perspective on how things are there and what it's like now that you're sober. Do they have a lot of like places that you can go to meetings and support like we do here? All that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm. No,
So,
absolutely. And yeah, it is a flip, man, because we're on complete other sides of the world, but the problem that we face are very similar. Or the
yes.
issues that we face are very similar, should I say?
Okay,
You know,
cool. Well, I'm excited, man. I put my email out
indeed.
in the th- in the comment section, and what I'm going to do is hit
Yeah,
me up if you ever want to come on, and I'm going to
will
let
do.
a couple more people come on and share, and then we're going to end this meeting, and we're going to go over to James's channel. Okay?
Oh, cool. He's done.
Th- Thank you for coming on.
Peace to all out there, man. Thank you too.
Stay safe, stay sober. We got our first guest from Australia, you guys. That's so cool to me. Okay, does anybody else want to come on and share a little bit before we go over to James's channel? We got about 9 minutes, you guys. So if anybody wants to come on, come on. In fact, let me put the link back in the chat. Da, 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 da. It is cool. I get excited because, I've heard that over in Australia, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm, oh, I got it. I got your email. Let me get it right here. S. Okay, cool. Cool. Thank you. I got your email. Good deal. Okay. I've heard that, methamphetamine is real bad over there in Australia. And I've actually seen a couple of videos on YouTube talking about the meth addiction in Australia. So that's kind of like where I got started out here in Arkansas, was on methamphetamine. But it ended up leading me to opiates, which you would think that I would have like either I like uppers or downers, but when I was in my addiction, you guys, it didn't matter. I liked all of it. And it wasn't so much that I liked all of it. It was that I was trying to check out of life. I was trying to not be present. I was trying to escape reality, and that's what I would do in my addiction, is constantly try to escape reality.
Mom.
I love Aussies. I know an awesome female rapper from, yes, Ash. And listen, you guys, I'm so excited about what we're doing here and how we're doing these meetings. Like, I want to get as many people involved as I can. So if you're somebody who is watching from Facebook or the YouTube and you want to come on and share your experience, strength, and hope, feel free to message me. I give everybody a chance. You don't have to be a YouTuber. You don't have to be a big recovery advocate or something like that. Like, if you want to come share your story, if you're a mother or a father of an addict and you want to come share your story about what it was like when your loved one was in active addiction, I would love to hear that. If you're an addict who's in recovery now, I would love to hear that. If you're an addict that's still struggling in your active addiction, you can come on and share, as long as you're not high on a live stream. But if you want to share, I'm down for that. Like, I want all of you guys to know that I'm very open-minded. I love interacting with other people. I love giving others support, and I'll give anybody a chance. What is Ian talking about? Who knows? So everybody is welcome to come here on my channel and share your experience, strength, and hope. No matter whether you're, 20 years sober or 1 minute sober. What, baby?
You open this.
Yes.
Who is
Give me the bowl and I'll dump it in there for you. Nate wants Cheez-Its.
They're not Cheez-Its, they're goldfish.
Hey, Hannah, what's up? Thanks, girl. I appreciate you. I like you, too.
They're goldfish.
We'll get to know each other better.
They're goldfish.
I want you guys to just know that, like, I'm here to support you. It doesn't matter, like, what program you go to, if you're in AA or NA, or if you're not in any programs. I don't care if you're on maintenance medication or if you're abstinent. I just want to support you in your recovery. And I think that that's what we should all be doing right now, especially during these hard times of crisis with the coronavirus and all this crap that's going on. Us addicts and alcoholics have to join together and support one another. Hey, Karen, what's up? 7 months and 28 days. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm so damn proud of you, girl. Come here, baby. That is so awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay over here on Facebook Live, but I'm going to end this live stream on YouTube, so that way those of you guys that are getting ready, you can go take a bathroom break, okay? Because we're all going to head over to Sober James's channel now. So I'll see you guys over there. Thanks to everybody that came out to the meeting this afternoon or this evening. I really, really appreciate it. I love you guys. And tomorrow night on YouTube, when we do our meeting, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow we have a guest speaker coming on. His name is Kyle. He has a channel. His channel is called Sober Dogs. For those of you guys that are new to my YouTube channel, Real Talk Recovery, come check it out. Kyle's going to be on Sober Dogs. He's just a cool dude. He's going to come tell his story tomorrow. So I'm going to stay on here with Facebook, and I'll see my YouTube friends later on. See y'all over at James's channel. Okay, buddy. Okay, so hey, Karen.